as we were going down because we couldn't remember where we were. So these are, of course, maybe it's because we didn't have very much sleep. But hopefully it won't be too confusing for you. Then I went down and you can click map. And if you want to know how to index it, or if you want to know what do I do with additional text, what is a column number, and so forth, you can click those. Same with the fire insurance, coat of arms, and the visual media. And so the general rules are, and this is going to be for this red is going to be for every project we do from now on in HSP. We do not index any apostrophes, quotes, parentheses, or asterisks. It makes the code invalid. And I guess that has been that way since day one, but nobody bothered to tell any of us. So from now on, do not type those. And it is so easy to type them. I was going through in the Q&A and typing answers, and Sister Hanson and Sister Lloyd both mentioned you've got quotes in there, and an apostrophe. But when you type, you're just used to typing them. So you will have to go back through and double check your work before you turn it in to make sure you don't have them. On this part I, where we do not correct misspellings or a person's name. We are not going to index cross-reference cards, and like in past batches, it's kind of hard to tell what's a cross-reference and what isn't. And then each part has different rules. So again, you need to read those field helps really careful. Instead of pulling out the abbreviation and misspelled words where you can and can't do it like I did on the last one, it would be 2 pages long. So I decided I'm just going to tell you that each field is different, and you're going to have to look at the field help. For me, I didn't expand any abbreviations. I just leave them the way they are. And you're okay to do that. Or if you want to expand, click field help and see if you can expand. If you have a misspelled word, you're going to have to look at field help to see if you can correct it. Do not correct it unless the field help tells you you can. And again, don't correct person's names. So this is the first synopsis of the map. Oh, something else I did. I'm not sure why there's an S over here on the page. I'll have to ignore that. I put the page number and I put what you're looking at. Because in a Q&A, most of the cards are going to be the same because of the testing, because these are all out of testing. And we only got so many. So as we're going through, I thought, haven't we already talked about this? And I was getting confused. So at the top, you'll see if you are in synopsis, map, coat of arms, or wherever you are at and what page you're on. So on the map, we're going to create a new entry for every creator, publisher, and map. You're going to do it for every publisher, but only one time, like we did on the last batch. If he's listed several places, whether with other names or by himself, only do it once. So if it's John Smith and John and Harry Smith Company, you would do John Smith only once. So same as last time. We're not going to type any of the yes, we type the numbered items at the bottom of the card if there are any. I was hoping we weren't going to have to do that, but we are. Call numbers, same as last time. If the word folio is included anywhere on the card, well, if it's hanging by itself somewhere on the card, make sure you put it with a call number. Did someone have a comment? Okay. The title, and these are going to change also. So if you do not have a title, you're going to have to create it. On the map, it's going to be the location the creator and the creator year. So that, yeah, this is what's hard to remember, what you do in what part. In the description, do not exclude any names, even though they're going to be indexed in another field. On given names, if there isn't a field for a given name, you can put it down in additional text or index or notes. Again, some of these have additional text and some of these do not. They only have index or notes. On the maps only, if in this project, you may assume the county from the town or city. If you know what the county is, do not Google to find it. So if we have a card from Philadelphia, and you know Philadelphia is a county, then you can type it in. But if you have another city and you don't know what the county is for sure, then do not type it in. This concerns me, and I asked why they were doing this, but that's what they told him to do. But do not Google. Pages, you're going to put in, if it's page 1 or if it's page 210 pages, you're going to put 210. They don't care if it's pages or a page. If it is a range, you're going to put 210 to 300. You put a dash in there. It's the fire insurance. On this one, we're going to create a new entry for every policy number and every policy holder. You need to be careful with the dates on insurance cards. Do not index survey or cancellation dates in the additional date field. Those are for things such as transfer dates. Again, in the description, do not exclude any names that are part of the description. In the day and month field, if it's day gives a range, type the most recent day, same with the month. You're going to have more than one date on there. Make sure it relates to the policy number. So you may have 3 policies with several dates. Make sure you get the one with the correct policy number. And this is another one that's kind of a doozy. And this is only for fire insurance. If the town is listed in the drop-down list, say it's Philadelphia, and it is in the drop-down list, then fine, choose it. If it is not in the drop-down list, then type the town or city as it was written. For instance, there was a city, and I don't remember the first name, but it was something Circle. It's actually a city. It was not its street address. And I had to type it in. And then, let's see, if the town is listed in the drop-down list, type the town or city as it is written. Do not index the county or state unless it is recorded. So even though it's Philadelphia, unless it says Philadelphia and Pennsylvania, you cannot write those in there. If no town or city is recorded, so you've got a card and it doesn't list the city anywhere on it, then we can assume the city is Philadelphia, the county is Philadelphia, and Pennsylvania is the state. Can you see why these are going to be a bit confusing? And there's 2 other cards. And there's some other things there, words that you need to look for. Visual media, the same thing. This time, if you have to create a title, it's going to be the creator, the genre, and the creation year. Where on the map, it was location. I think it was genre and creation year. So
location.
You're just going to have to look at things. There's not going to be any way around that. This is a map, and you can see all the fields on the left. And that is why I did not fill out every single card. It almost takes the whole page. and this is one of the shorter ones. So on this card, we have a title, Atlas of the City of Philadelphia. And on these cards, you're going to have to kind of look for the title to see if there really is one or not. The description is the West Philadelphia Wards 24, 27, 34, 40, 44, and 46 from actual survey and official plans by George W. and Walter S. Bromley, civil engineers, published by G.W. Bromley and Company, corrected to September 1923 by Frank H.M. Kling in Philadelphia. So you see we have all those names in there, and those are going to be in other fields, but that's okay. So the creator, the surveys were done by George and Walter Bromley. So we are going to do 2 entries, one for George, and I'm not going to go through all these. I think you pretty much, there's an error. On this card, you've got item dimensions, and you have item scale. Item scale should be down on the next line. Don't put item scale in there. There is no item scale on here. And the publisher or a corporate name, whichever one, goes down here. It'd be G.W. Bromley and Company. The second entry is going to be for Walter S. Are there any questions so far?